Now they asked the question, do black men protect black women? And he said, basically, which a lot of people might ask the question is, well, what do you mean by protect? What's the definition of we going by? That was it. That was on his neck from there. What do you mean protect? You know what protect means?
Be careful about the voice you're doing to impersonate these black women.
I think in also with that, it's the capacity of the situation, because they all say black men don't support or look after or care for black women. It's the capacity. What subject matter? What scenario are you talking about?
Well, this is why you asked the question.
And that's what I'm asking. What would the capacity?
The answer is you should know.
You should know, bruv.
Yeah, you should know. Don't ask stupid questions.
Neck, I said. Kicking heels on your neck.
But then that's when problems arise, because you say, "Oh, you should know." But if we don't know, and not for the fact that we're being ignorant or we're stupid, we actually don't know. If your woman went off and did something crazy, and you didn't actually know why she was doing what she was doing, and you said, "Why are you being like that for?" What, you don't know? You don't know why I'm angry? This is why I'm angry. But yeah, but I didn't know because you didn't explain that to me. You just went off at the handle and expected me to have your back.
It was that actor and Big Wahala that are impersonating black women with an angry voice. Simple Simon and Stavros have not done it yet.
Let me tell you.
Yet.
Let me tell you something.
Emphasis on yet.
Let me tell you something.
It can happen.
It didn't matter what he said. He was going to get it. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to Eloquently Saying Nothing, the podcast, episode number 83. I am a very vexed Stavros boss, hashtag ESN pod, and at ESN podcast on all your social medias. In the room with me tonight, I have other vexed faces looking at me, one of them being Simple Simon.
I've got an interjection.
Go on.
You released out the rodents and small...
He did, but we don't care about them for today.
So I'm gonna say, roll out with me a Ted clique, now fi hide from the sun, car gangsta na bleach. Roll out in the Ted street, girl them want to do good dogger, cause them say we look neat. Simple Simon's in the building, at Simple Simon FB on Twitter, get at me.
Is that what the lady asked for?
Yaga, gangsta na bleach.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. You good?
Is that I direct this at Cartel?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, we also have Big Wahala.
At Big Wahala on Twitter, at Big Wahala on Insta.
Looking like creme brulee. Mad.
What's good, people?
And we have that actor.
Do you know what I think? I think we're all in our own private traps. We're cramped in. We scratch and we claw at the air and even at each other. And for all of that, we never get out. We never even budge an inch. What's going on, people? It's your boy, the actor, up in the building. I haven't heard or seen from you in a while. How are we doing, people?
It's true, you know. Both of you weren't here last week, innit?
Mad.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go on by what's...
At that actor on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, it is indeed.
Going by what Stav just said about him being vexed before the podcast, which nobody actually cares about. Did any of you lot catch the Candid Conversations? Episode 2? Was it? Episode 2?
It's episode 3.
Episode 3?
The latest one was episode 3.
Yeah.
About
do black men protect black women? And there was another topic as well.
Black privilege, black male privilege.
Black male privilege.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
All right, Tops, man, stop explaining yourself. Stop explaining yourself to these people.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is what happened. This is why. Don't explain yourself, man.
Tops, right.
We love the smoke. Well done.
First and foremost, Tops, let me say, congratulations. You are a fantastic host. You are doing very well as a host.
Yeah, man, you're almost as good as me. Well done.
And I salute you on that. Yeah, salute you on that. I think that you're doing very well.
Definitely. 2,
you could see that something had happened before that show that came on. You could sense it. I already knew something had happened before that show just by watching it.
Yeah, of course.
Because you could see that a numerous amount of people in there were already angry at each other before anybody even opened their mouth to speak.
Yeah.
I actually didn't get around to finishing it. My internet connection went dodgy on my. You know, YouTube is because they're trying to push this YouTube music thing, man. It's like they messed up my normal YouTube because I'm not taking a free trial of the thing. So it just actually started crumpling, and I didn't end up watching it, but I would definitely finish watching it. I like the hair one, which I'm just not going there. But so you mans have to flesh it out, the ones that did watch it, and explain to the masses what's going on. This is Candid Conversations we're talking about, which is Simply Tops' video.
Sincerely Tops.
Sorry, Sincerely Tops' What do you call these things? Vodcast, I guess.
Yeah, vodcast, I would say.
So it's on YouTube. So seek that out. In fact, I'll
subscribe and all that.
Yeah, I'll make that my Stavros today.
Are you confused about vodcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Video cast, isn't it?
Yeah. So why is it VOD?
It's more like a vlog.
That's what they call podcasts on video. They call them vodcasts.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's I think so. Anyways,
Or vlogs.
Or am I thinking
Video
of-
logging.
Well, okay, I don't
Either
know.
way, man, it's on
No,
YouTube
because it's
there.
not a vlog, is it? Because it's not just me talking to
We
the
always
camera.
mess up people's promotion, man.
It's not messing up.
The
Nothing.
Daily Tops is there. Go check it out on the YouTube Candid
But
Conversation.
yeah, episode 3 was the topics that we just mentioned, and the guys that watched it are gonna discuss what happened before they discuss what happened, so people actually understand what happened.
Okay, so there's a panel. I think there's about 7 girls.
Something like that. Anyways.
Yeah, roughly.
Simple always sounds better than me on the mic, 7 girls and
That's
2
a lie.
Mandem. And 2 Mandem was there, yeah? I think one of the guys' name was Chibs or some Chids. And the other guy's name is Swizz.
Is it Swizz or Ade?
His Twitter name is Swizz.
Okay.
He's the one that disagreed with all the women in it.
He agreed with them, yeah.
Capitulate.
But let me tell you something about him, yeah? Let me give.
Wow.
Isn't he the one that
Is that the beef one?
That's the one that they all got on the other day.
Grapevine, isn't it?
Yeah, the one that's on Grapevine and they all attacked later on. Let me tell you something about this guy. Actually, I'll tell you later because because the Chids guy, he started talking, and as soon as he started talking, the girls was on his neck. Yeah.
Before they started talking.
Immediately.
Before he started talking.
Immediately. So that's when I knew something had happened beforehand. So the discussion originally became with, do black men protect black women? Now they asked the question, do black men protect black women? And he said, basically, which a lot of people might ask the question is, well, what do you mean by protect? What's the definition of we going by? That was it. That was on his neck from there. What do you mean protect? You know what protect means?
Be careful about the voice you're doing to impersonate these black women.
Why?
Because why you mean it? They're gonna say, why you why is that black women? When it was him, he was very calm.
Sorry,
what is it you're talking about?
Why do we sound like
how do we
cats?
define?
No, because
When it comes to the women,
on his neck. What do you mean?
Can I just say, this is our 3rd week. We've known about this from before it started. We knew about the promo. We all follow on social media, so we knew about it. We were even promoting it ourselves. Yeah. Now, this episode has about 10 times more views than the last 2 episodes.
It was trending, man.
Yeah. And we're talking about it when we didn't talk about the last 2. Although I did. In fact, I've already given a Stavros a shout out.
Yeah, of course you have.
Okay, sorry. I already have. So I actually have spoken about it. But why is it when the beef episode comes?
No, we spoke about it last
That's when
week.
we're talking about it.
But it's trending. It was trending this week.
Go on, big up yourself, Tops. Trending.
Because of the Chids guy.
Anyway, go on.
So anyway, so they was on his neck. What do you mean? What do you mean by protection? What do you mean you don't know what you mean? So he was like, I'm just asking the question, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, they was on his neck. So they were gunning him from there. They were, not even, let me say gunning him. Let me say, let me say Yvette did what I like to call the Yvette special. Yvette wasn't shouting and screaming at him, but you could see from the tone of her voice, she was not happy with this guy. Yeah?
Is that the definition of passive aggressive then?
Maybe. I don't understand passive aggressive, but maybe.
I think that's what it is.
I think she handled it quite well, though.
Yvette.
Yeah.
I'm calmly
I don't know
angry.
I don't know what she was handling because I don't know what happened beforehand.
I don't
because he didn't go at her. He didn't go out on the show.
Yeah, but why I'm saying is because I got the impression, and maybe because we know her to some capacity as well. I got the impression that she was quite upset.
She was quite upset. You could see in her eyes she's quite upset. Big up Yvette. She used to be on the Low podcast.
Yes.
But she's still on the Low podcast. I don't know what's going on that hiatus and all that. Well, I don't know what's going on. She's been on a hiatus.
And she's done a lot of work.
Yeah, she's been on Grapevine. Big up Yvette anyway. We got time for Yvette.
So I could see that from the little pointers that I know that she was infused, incensed.
Yeah, you could see that she was angry.
Yeah.
But what I liked about Yvette is that she was channeling her anger to ask questions.
That's what I said to you.
Yeah, she was
I think
channeling
she
her
handled it
anger
well.
to ask questions. But you could see that if she could catch him on the street alone, she might have snapped him in the neck. I don't know what happened beforehand, but you could sense that if those two was married, he wouldn't have got food that night from her. Put it that way.
Oh, so you think it was her that had the problem with him?
I think it was her. It was definitely her. Because
the one that's sitting next to him as well?
yeah, those two. But it was definitely Yvette because after, you might not have got to the point where she goes, well, when you was being disrespectful to all of us girls, was that protecting us? And then he goes blatantly to her, I was disrespecting you. I wasn't disrespecting black women. I was disrespecting you.
I think I saw that as a cutout.
Yeah, as a cutout. So I'm assuming that it was she was involved in whatever problem was between the two of them.
All right. Well, let's not talk dwell too much on.
I don't want to spoil the thing.
Negative.
So go and watch it anyway. But I don't want to spoil it. So anyway, there was on his neck. But the thing I was actually saying is that you could sense the atmosphere before before they even started talking. There was an atmosphere there. It wasn't just those two as well. There was another girl that was there that you could see was also not happy with this guy.
Yeah.
She had a tattoo on her chest. I can't. That's the only way I can describe her. But she was also not happy with this guy.
How was her hair? That's the way I would know.
It was long. It probably was a hair.
It was long. It was long.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
All right, what are we talking about here? You want to say that if you were there, you would have done a better job in it?
No, that's not the case. It would have happened. It would have been better that way. But that's not the case.
When I was watching, I was thinking, if Wala was on this panel right here, this would have been.
I would love to hear what he would have said, because I want to see if he capitulates like my man.
Why would I capitulate?
I said I would want to see.
No, the other guy didn't capitulate. He held his own. He did say what he said. He when he talked about the black male privilege, he said, well, there are privileges that males do get.
I don't want to care about the black male privilege. It's a bit about the protecting the black women.
Well, I don't know what I kind of actually don't really remember what he said.
Rest my case.
But he didn't say anything bad. He said that the other guy was. I don't remember what he said. Me personally,
all right, this is Stavros. I would have asked the question as well. What is it we're specifically talking about? Because I know I could defend my mum, my sister, my friend, my niece, my daughter, my wife, friends, people that I know, loads of black women, yeah? And then somebody says something on social media that I gun her for, and then let's say that trends, and everyone's saying, well, you're attacking this black woman. And I could hold my hands up and say, well, in this case, potentially yes. And then they say, well, you don't defend black women or you don't support black women. And I'll say, no, this one person is an individual, and me as an individual had a go at this individual. That is not bracketing all women, and it's not encapsulating my whole life on my interactions with black women. Just so happens this woman, whether she's black, white, yellow, brown, I had an issue with, and I took it out of her, or on her, sorry, and then that blew up, and everyone saw that. Yeah, you don't necessarily see all the things I do in private.
That's what I would have kind of said as well. I would have said, look, if you're asking me, do black men protect black women? I would have said maybe in their personal relationships, they may protect the women that's close to them. I think that's okay. And every other black woman is for themselves. And that's probably what black men do think. Yeah, I can protect my mum. Yeah, I'll protect my sister. But every other girl, why do I need to protect them? And that's probably that's what I would have gone and said. So if you're saying does black men protect black women on the whole? Probably not. Do black men protect the women that they think is personal to them, for them to be the protection? Probably yes. Would it be better if all black men thought the same? That they should protect all black women. Potentially, yes. Of course, it should be better. But even if it was to the point where all black men did actually look after the black women that's in their lives, then a lot of the black women would feel like they'll be protected. So it's obviously a case somewhere that black women aren't being protected by black men, especially as the fact that black men are there's a large proportion of black men that leave their children and leave their daughters on their own. So
for me, I would have again. So this is why I had to watch it, and I was like, hold on a minute, why are they getting at him like that? Because I would have asked a similar question about.
There was nothing wrong with his question.
Yeah, what do we mean by protection? But then after the conversation went on, they said, you know what we're talking about.
That is, yes, they kept saying,
you know what we're talking about, and I didn't get their definition of what they were talking about. But at the same time, the example that came to my mind is how many protests have been started by men for the purpose of women,
black women, and that's another thing. So when they're talking about in the general masses, so I was thinking in social media world, no, you don't really see black men protect black women. I would say that in social media world,
I would say that. Again, it goes back to what I'm saying about like picking and choosing what you see or what you happen to see. Because yes, black men. If a woman pops up and a woman is there potentially to be attacked, 50 black men might attack her and 50 black men might defend her. What you'll see is black men attacking a woman, and that would be the narrative of that situation.
Potentially.
There's bare men that would have protected her. Or, sorry, I don't like the word protect. There's bare men that would have stood up for the woman and vouched for her or said, let's not go out. There would be. Definitely.
Hold on. I kind of agree with you on that, but I would say it's probably 50 men attacking, 25 men protecting, and another 25 that just ignore it. It's not my business.
Let's stick with that.
Right, so that's what I would say.
The only thing
I'll say that if it was the reverse with regards to women and men, depending on what type of situation it is, you may have 50 black women protecting the man, another 10 attacking the man, and another 30 or 40 that's none of my business. But you will see a lot of women protecting.
Can I ask you this question then? Because I think it doesn't matter what race it is, it'll be the same ratio. Whatever ratio we decide that it is with black people, I don't think it's any different with any other race. That's my thing. So are we comparing it because it's black on black? So i.e. what black women do for black men? Or are we doing it comparing black to other men?
No, but I don't know.
So is it black? Well, white people, Chinese people, sorry, Oriental people, East Asian people.
You made it worse.
I still have no issue until somebody explains what the issue is with that. You're from the Orient. Unless that's a derogatory term that somebody needs to explain it to me.
It's colonialism, isn't it? That
Isn't
Orient
it East
thing,
Asia?
It's East Asia because the British and all that call it the Orient.
All right then. So I'll stick with colors then: brown, yellow,
Fuck my life.
black, red.
On the colour spectrum,
I just think
you are yellow.
each color does
Looking
that.
like a creme brulee.
Each color does it. So are you saying that you're comparing me to another color, or you're comparing me to what a woman does?
For me,
Depends on the color of the woman.
I think they was comparing black men to black women.
yes,
That's what I think the comparison was with regards to that.
In that specific.
In that specific thing, I think it was comparing
My
black
thing
men to
also
black
is, why do we always have to say that we don't think it happens in other communities or whatever when we're talking about ours? Why do we always have to say, I think that it's probably the same in the white community?
Because the media doesn't expose other communities as much as they expose us.
Yeah, but the media doesn't really expose ours. We expose ours.
I would say the minute you
but
bring
we do
race
that.
into it. Sorry, let you talk.
I would say we do that because of media. Media feeds us to feed them back. So they'll open up the narrative and we'll fall into it and say, yeah, but as black people we do this and we do. Oh, so really as black people you kind of just fuck up yourselves, don't you? But we give you the ammunition to do it.
I don't know if I feel what you're saying there, to be honest with you, because the way I see it, the media has the negative picture that they paint of black people, period, and they don't really care whether you're a black man or a black woman. As long as you're black, you have the same level of criminality.
Exactly. So they feed the narrative and we buy into it. It's
yeah,
very rare for us to say, no, you're wrong in a passive way. We'll say it in an angry way.
Yeah, but again, I don't care about that. We have every right to say it in an angry way. We are angry.
But then again, we're feeding into the stereotype. Black people are generally angry.
Yeah, but you know what?
Angry bastard.
I don't mind feeding into the stereotype, because when you actually look at things for what they actually are, yes, black people can be angry all the time. Yeah, we can, and we can because we've got a reason to. And if it comes to a point, where we have to do a show and prove, we can show and prove with metrics, with historical data, why you would be angry.
But then why not do it in a passive way instead of an angry way?
Yeah, but why do I have to now be told how to deliver my anger? When a white person is furious that a black person is selling lemonade on the side of the street, how comes there's no dialogue about why they've
there's plenty of dialogue.
About why she has done it in such an angry manner. We don't talk about her being angry for doing it.
That's because we don't talk about it like that.
Yes, we do.
Not in the way that the media will portray it as
exactly.
You guys are right because she was being angry and she shouldn't have been angry. Remember, the media don't care about us in that way.
I fully disagree.
What I'm saying,
you don't think the media cares about black people?
No, of course they don't. But what I'm saying is that is portrayed as the white woman that's going at these black children for doing something, being young entrepreneurs, and they're being passive aggressive or putting these children's lives at risk by calling the police when they know the police might do any kind of whatless. Yeah, so that is being portrayed by blacks and by the media.
That's the description of the action. They're not describing her mode. Like if she's screaming on the phone or what have you, they're not saying, why is she so angry or why is she so aggressive. That is strictly reserved for black people and black women in particular.
Sorry, I just missed. I was went to go toilet. What happened?
You can't ask that question.
Yeah,
man.
We heard you, bro.
You can't ask that question. I'm just saying that I would have asked the question, taking it back to the original thing. What is it we're talking about? To actually answer the question, I think we did. We said that some do and some don't. And I think it more depends. I think it depends on who you ask.
No, also with that,
the more level-headed a person is, and this sounds bad, a woman, I think the less chance you'll get of her saying, black men don't.
I think in also with that, it's the capacity of the situation, because they will say black men don't support or look after or care for black women. It's the capacity. What subject matter? What scenario are you talking about?
Well, this is why you asked the question.
And that's what I'm asking. What would the capacity?
The answer is you should know.
You should know, bro.
Yeah, you should know. Don't ask stupid questions.
Kicking heels on your neck. But then that's when problems arise, because you say, you should know. But if we don't know, and not for the fact that we're being ignorant or we're stupid, we actually don't know. If your woman went off and did something crazy, and you didn't actually know why she was doing what she was doing, and you said, why are you being like that for? What, you don't know? You don't know why I'm angry? This is why I'm angry. But yeah, but I didn't know because you didn't explain that to me. You just went off at the handle and expected me to have your back.
It was that actor and Big Wahala that are impersonating black women with an angry voice. Simple Simon and Stavros have not done it yet.
Let me tell you.
Yet.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
Emphasis on yet.
Let me tell you something.
It can happen.
It didn't matter what he said. He was going to get it. He could have gave them all money and said, you know what? As black men, we don't protect black women. Here's £1 million each. And they would say, why you give you £1 million for? I'm a whore. Is that you trying to pay my silence? That's what he would have said to him because they were not happy with him.
So essentially, we can't win no matter what.
No, we.
Whoa.
Him.
Him. Just him.
He was getting it regardless what happened that day because of whatever discussion they had beforehand. But he was getting it.
I'm also, so like I said, the example that I came with in the end was how many protests or what have you have been black male led and have.
Well, the Black Lives Matter movement had that guy in it with the vest.
No, but it wasn't led by a black man.
The Black Lives movement was led by women.
He was heavily involved.
Okay,
no,
it was started. It was
started by women, LGBT community specific as well, and then the guy was involved as well.
Is a man in it?
Yeah, okay, he's a guy,
and he's an LGBTQ man as well.
Okay, that's fine. But what I'm saying to you is en masse. So that's one example that we can all pull off of our heads straight away.
Okay, so that's recent.
But nobody argued with you when you said how many.
No,
Wahala said it don't happen.
What I'm saying is that's the essence of the question that women were asking.
No, but we don't know.
But men don't do this. Men don't do this in general. That's what I'm saying. It's not. So this is why I think it's a bit reductive just to take it down to black men. It's men don't do it.
No. I won't even say that because it's how many them leaders, those black male leaders that go around and does stuff for in America anyway, maybe not in the UK. Yeah, they go. I'm assuming they must do some of these marches for some women for some stuff. Maybe there's. I
get the impression that when women issues come up, women are the heads of women issues.
Yeah, and also when
black men issues come up, women are the head of the black.
If a black man gets shot tomorrow,
yeah,
I think that you have the men leaders may come out and do the protest, and I think they may still do it for women. I just don't know.
For me, the question is, in that regard, I think it doesn't. I think more on a personal term, if a black woman is saying that, I don't feel protected by black men around me in my circumference, in my borough, in my area, then I can in my circle, I can understand that more so than when big things happen, black men don't step up to the plate and start the revolution, because if that's just not the case, then it's just not the case. If you get what I mean? If it just so happens that it happens to be women, regardless of whether they're black or let's stick with black. I don't want to upset anybody. If it happens to be that black women are the ones that spearhead movements, full stop, whether it be because they're protecting men or women, then let's just say potentially that black women seem to be the ones that spearhead these movements.
Well, they are, but then they ask you for the backup, innit?
No, so, I don't think black men don't back up. So if they're having that argument, if you're having that discussion,
if I was finished, then you can have the argument after I finished.
Go on. Because you did cut me off, by the way. But go on.
This is Karen then.
No, go on.
No, because
go on. You cut somebody off, and then when I'm talking,
stop playing this game of tennis.
Okay, I'll just wait for him.
Like a creme brulee, mad.
I mean, with whatever movement comes about, whether it's black, white, whatever the color spectrum is, both men and women stand up for each other. It's just the amount on either side. Whether it's more men that stand up or more women that stand up, we both do it, but it's just the amount, the number.
I'm not. Listen, all right. I'm being the advocate, and I'm saying to you that was an all lives matter response.
It could be an all lives matter response.
Man, the men don't necessarily stick up for women as much as they would stick up for another men. But even in that situation, in that program, there was, and I knew that was gonna pop up, and I knew they were gonna say it, and when they did, I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. When the girls were talking to him again, they were being aggressive to the guy, so that's probably why he had his backup and wasn't listening to them really. But he was listening to them, but he wasn't really responsive to them. But when the other guy spoke, he listened to him and he was responsive to the other guy. And they're like, see, when he spoke, you listened to him, was responsive to him, and you heard what he was saying, but he's basically saying what we're saying. And it was like, the guy was still perplexed, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But he kind of did. But the reason could go back to the fact that some of the girls, not all of them, were on his neck. But so it was just like he doesn't listen to them.
It's
really.
like you said, we don't know what happened before it started airing. So whatever problem the women had with that individual carried through the episode
into the episode.
But we don't know what the issue was before that. So everything looked like it was on him, and we don't even know why.
I know I got a feeling he did something.
He probably did something to offend them.
No, because the other guy kind of alluded that he did do something. Later on in Twitter, he was like, if you're going to go and do something like that, then yeah, you're going to get the smoke. So, I don't know what he did, but he must have said something that was offensive.
I get the impression he said something that I would have said. I just get the impression that if I was in that same situation.
But you're offensive to many people.
Apparently.
Even to look at.
That's why you get blocked all the time. Man gets blocked weekly now.
But do you realise I don't ever get blocked when I'm actually being rude? I just get blocked when I give you facts.
I don't know.
Nobody want to read no facts.
I'm not really preying you like that.
Okay, true. But I get blocked, not when I'm being insulted. I don't actually insult people on Twitter. So, yeah. I don't insult people, not like with viciousness, not like your mum or look at your face.
You mean you don't directly insult?
No, I mean I'm not like catty insulting. If you say something that's nonsense, I could say that statement is a nonsense, such and such and such. Maybe you might read it like I'm being like vicious, but I'm just making what I feel is a calm statement about your statement. A lot of times I pull people up on why I think what you're saying is incorrect. And these are the reasons why. I usually give the reasons why because I like to shut down the argument. And then when I don't get an argument, what I get is blocked. And that's the point.
Because nobody wants to hear you.
Okay. Well, they don't have to hear me. They're right.
Yeah, but in the end, people on Twitter want to make a statement and they don't want to back it up. They just want to make the statement, get the retweets, get the likes, and walk away. They don't want people to actually question the statement.
They don't want to engage in that conversation.
They do not appreciate a dissection.
We come from a society now where
everyone's right.
No, not even everyone's right. We come from what's the problem?
The fridge.
I am not cutting that up.
Yeah, why not? We come from a society now where
slacking.
Where basically you're not allowed to tell people that they're wrong, and you're not allowed to question people, and you're not allowed to tell them this is not correct.
This is the problem I have with life. I've been saying this whole season, or since I've been more prominent with Twitter. Since we started season 2, I've got heavy into Twitter, and I see it. People can't have opinions, and somebody else have a difference of opinion, and you have to just have a discussion about it. Let's talk about why I feel I'm right and why you feel you're right, and let's talk about our differences and either come to some middle ground or one of us agree with change views or something. I want to do that, and I just feel that people don't want to do that. I don't feel there's no growth in saying I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm not willing to listen to what you're.
For a lot of it, it's too much work for people to have that discussion. They just want you're right. Cool, carry on. What's the next one I can be right about?
I was talking to Ola, the photographer. She was on the show a couple of weeks ago still, and
we were talking creative.
Yeah, we were talking about basically somebody had tweeted and said, and I agree with this girl. She said, look, listen, this thing about white men don't disrespect black women. I mean, don't disrespect white women. Narrative. I don't know because I don't know any white men enough to say whether or not they do disrespect white women. I just know black men, and that's why I can say that black men do disrespect black women. But I know that I can't tell you that white men don't. So I don't know why we just all go around saying that white men don't do it. So then I must have come on and said, white men do disrespect white women all the time. The difference is they just say women. They don't say white women because they don't even acknowledge all the rest of the women. When they're talking about women, they just mean white. When they say women, they just mean white women. So when they're saying this woman needs to go to the kitchen and be a dishwasher or whatever, they talk about white women. They're not talking about the Asian women. They ain't talking about black women. They don't care about you lot. They care about white women, and that's who they're referring to. So anyway, I said that, and then Ola came on and said, look, the difference, what I think they're speaking about is the fact that white men don't go out of their way and say stuff like, I won't date a white woman because they're this. I won't date a white woman because of that. I won't do this and I won't do that. And then I said, I've heard white men say that.
Yeah, because I've heard that.
I've heard white men say that, but I haven't heard it en masse. Then she went on Google and goes, I bet if I Google it, I won't see nothing. So she did Google it.
And she found tons?
No.
She found nothing?
She found black men talking about... The thing that came up was black men saying they don't date black women. It wasn't even nothing to do with white men.
She was looking for white men saying that they don't date white women.
And it was coming up with things like... what's that guy's name from the Best Man?
Oh, Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs and people like that say that they don't date black women.
That's because Google's racist.
Yeah, but
Google is racist.
It is kind of racist though. But you see what I'm saying? So that was the narrative that was coming from that end. Yeah, but I've heard white men say white women are blah 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 blah. I've heard him say it.
I don't see why this is considered to be a phenomenon though. Like if we look at the context of why a black person may not or a black man will say that he doesn't date black women or what have you, or this stigma that black men have against black women, whatever. You would see that there's a context and there's a history behind that. The black woman has historically been put down by white people, by the same systems of slavery that we talk about and all that kind of stuff. The image of her has been demoted over time. So therefore, this idea that this woman is not worthy has been projected, and people have taken it on. There hasn't been the same demonization of the white woman in the same way. So there isn't any context for people to say, you know,
they haven't demonized white women.
The man is right. What you said is right. That's why all of us.
There's
quiet.
been demonization, but maybe not on a bigger
Bro,
scale.
Please.
There hasn't been
the suffragette movement.
Yeah, that's not demonization of white women.
It's demonization of white women because they weren't allowed to vote. Black women weren't allowed to vote. Women weren't allowed to vote in general.
Hang on. But the suffragette thing was those women weren't allowed to vote because they were women. They weren't allowed to vote because they were white women.
No, that's what I said. Women in just
we're talking about white women. As a white woman, you are this. As a white woman, you are that. Not as a woman.
There's no narrative.
As a white woman, you are this. As a white woman, you are that.
Even I'm not advocating. I'm not waving the flag for white women.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm putting them in the bracket.
Just be careful, because remember when the suffragette thing, when they did pass it, then the white women still didn't turn on the black women.
Yes,
and said
true.
But they're not with us.
Oh, not them. Which is why I say when people say women,
we didn't want them affiliated with us. That's
kind of.
Yeah.
So be careful what you're saying.
Women have been subjugated and demoralized throughout time. Black women on a larger scale.
No, but here's what I'm saying to you. This is the thing.
Hey, you can't agree with that.
I'm not arguing.
But that's not what he's talking about.
That's not what I'm talking
yes,
about.
again, I know he's made a different argument.
I'm saying
I can understand that.
I'm saying
I can relate to that a lot.
I'm saying specifically
as a suffering woman.
No, as somebody that says one figure, then he's talking.
Oh, nobody cares about what you say.
Try to make a second argument.
So I'm saying specifically, there is no demonization of the white woman dialogue. There is no demonization of the Chinese woman dialogue. There is no demonization of the Indian woman dialogue. There is only demonization of the black woman dialogue. So much so that all of those...
I would just stick with the white one and just leave it at that.
Yeah,
before you start including everyone else.
If you go to different nations, the Indian women are demonized by the Pakistani population and black people. So,
and again, that's because of white people.
Either way, what it's because of, they still get demonized in certain aspects.
Women get demonized, full stop.
Whereas white women do not get.
No, don't all lives matter. The thing.
Can I ask
black women are in a special situation here.
We've been chatting about this for half an hour. So before we move on, I just want to ask one question. If the roles were reversed,
welcome to the club. The VIP room for blacks is over there, but the club generally is here.
If the roles were reversed, I know it's a bizarre world. We can't really answer with any knowledge, but I'm just tossing it out there. If the roles were reversed and we felt that black women didn't defend us,
yeah,
do you think we would moan about it as black men?
Yes.
Okay. Wahala says yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Simon says yes.
Depending on the subject matter, yeah.
And we'll use it as an excuse to go for white women.
Looking like a creme brulee. Mad.
Let's be real, innit?
She don't feed me, man.
Because I think that's a 5 out of 100.
What?
Black men that make reasons to maybe it's not fair.
There's every white man, all the black men that go for white girls, they always, they treat us better. Fucking come home, they don't give me gravy.
Okay, all right. Let me ask this last question. Out of 100 men, black men, how many of them do you think go for white women?
Gives me ketchup instead of stew.
Again, out of what? Again?
How many out of 100 black men do you think, let's say in London, where they have a choice of whatever, have a preference for white women? And they actually, they aggressively go for white women?
5.
You reckon it's 5? Because I said 5 and then I thought it's actually probably more.
5%?
Yeah.
5
out of 100. Yeah, 5%.
Ooh.
That's what I'm going to say it's between 5 and 10 somewhere.
Ooh.
Probably closer to 10.
Yeah, it's a good question. When you think about it like that,
if you was to ask how many black men will date white girls and black girls or whatever, the percentage is higher. If you're saying that they're only going for white girls, I'm saying 5%.
Or let's say non-black women then.
If you say non-black women, it's a higher percentage.
If you say non-black women, 10%.
10%.
I'm saying 15.
10% we got
20.
20?
Yeah.
2 out of every 10
For non-black
black men prefer to go out with non-black
women.
Yeah.
You're saying 20. Yeah. I might even see your 20 and raise you 25.
You think so?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I think numbers quite high.
Are we talking about in the UK? Yeah.
I'm not talking about they're happy to go out with whatever. I'm saying London. They have a preference.
In London.
Yeah, because that's where you have a choice.
You're saying in London, 25%.
When you live in Yorkshire,
London, mate.
when you live in Yorkshire and you're a black man, you ain't got much choice in it. It's like I can't. If you
Well, you do have a choice. There's sheep.
Yeah, you have to get binoculars to go look for your black woman.
1/4 of black men in London would prefer to go out with somebody that's non-black.
Yes.
Come on, man.
You're just being ridiculous.
You don't think so, Stan?
And of course not.
No way.
Looking like a creme brulee.
I think if you said 1 out of 4, because this is what you're saying now, 1 out of 4 black men would go out with anything. I'll take anybody's pussy if they're giving it away. Then I'll live that. But you're saying prefer, as in I don't want to date really black women. I prefer other women, even if it's not aggressively, even if they're not being aggressive about it.
That's my number's 20%.
20 and 25, and you're sticking with the 15?
I said 5.
5%
if white,
and 10%.
10% if you're talking about any other race. And even then, I don't even know. Any other race is still not even people in London. They talk about all these Latinas and stuff. That's not in the UK.
Flip the question. Women. 1% of black women would prefer to go out with
even
Samaras.
Even 0.5s.
Let's call them Samaras.
I'll say 1%, and they're all creatives.
Would prefer to go.
Oh my god!
Big up my creative black women.
He understands me
in the creative fields, what advertising, media.
No, you mean like real creative, like that artistry and all that kind of stuff. Like
they wear certain clothes.
They
shave half their hair.
The Bohemian, we are all human beings, and love is love.
Everyone's on road and not dealing with the white. Well, a couple of them are start looking like they might move to the white boys.
I see it. Wait till Carnival, you can see it. So 1%. While I'm saying simple.
In that respect, I think it's very, very low. So I would go around about that same 1%.
1%.
It's rising though.
2.5 to 3.
Yeah, I'd stick it closer to 5 than 1. But somewhere between there. So I'd say 5 out of every 4 or 5 out of every black woman prefer non-black men.
Yeah, that's what I say. Prefer. That's the question.
I will say, coming from the creative background, I've seen a lot of black women with white men.
But do they prefer them?
Or is it just these are the ones that happen to be in my room?
That move to them?
That's a question about the preference, because it's funny. Because you asked, what, you prefer white men more than a black man? No, I love my black brothers, but James is nice.
Let me ask you a question. Because I linked up with 52 Weeks Later the other day. Only the brave. We went to lunch.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's 52 weeks coming up soon, but I don't know if he's gonna get the book done by the 52 weeks. But anyway, so we were chatting and we were talking about the black male privilege part, and he was talking about he was giving his because
you're talking about
because in that debate. They couldn't really give an example of what the black male privilege was. They couldn't give an example. They would ask questions, but then they would like skirt around what is an actual example. So I said, and Dennis agrees that there is a black male privilege. So I said, okay. So 52 weeks later, agrees that in fact I don't even just gonna carry on talking as normal. So he agrees that there's a
black male privilege.
There's a black male privilege, yeah. And I said, what is it? Give me an example. And his example was if you as a black male walks into a room with none other black males, and there's females in that room, he'll be more likely to be desired than everyone else.
Okay.
So he said that was the privilege. So I said, okay, that's fetishization most times than the privilege, really.
They can overlap.
Yeah, I said that's fine. But then I said that's fine. But then I said to him, so do you... he goes, the women are going to desire that man because they think he's going to give them the ting and blah, blah, blah and all that stuff, yeah?
Smart
so
girl.
I said to him, when you go into... do you think that... So you think that black women don't have that same privilege in certain capacities? He's like, no. He goes, I don't think so. I said, do you know how many white men want to bang black women on the sly, but don't say it in public because they don't want to be seen to be that person that goes for black women?
No, is it that, or do they want to be seen as the fetish type?
I don't know, but interracial porn is banging out right at the moment right now. The men and the women and the women and the men.
Yeah, it's been going for a long time.
So I don't know where, because it's very, very high on the list of people's searches. So I'm assuming that these white men are liking black women.
Okay, so you feel that that cancels each other out, so there's no privilege for the men then?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that do you think that white men desire black women?
I'm asking you. You brought it up.
What?
Okay, all right.
That's not my question.
I would say yes. I would say in the case that you gave, yes. If a black man walked into a room and he was the only black man there, then maybe a lot of the white women will look at him and be like, "Ooh." But then I would still think it would be the same way the other way around. If it was a black woman that walks in, if she's an attractive black woman, the white man will look at her and go, "Ooh."
Why does she have to be an attractive black woman? And
because if
and
she's
the black
ugly,
man
then
doesn't
she's
have to be an attractive black man.
Maybe that's the privilege. Maybe because black men don't have to be as attractive as women. Men don't have to be as attractive as women in general. When men can get across, men can get women without being attractive easier than a woman can get a man without being attractive. That's in general. Just forget the color. It's just true.
All right, sorry.
Because I ain't attractive and I get women.
Sorry. Because of the percentage question we had a minute ago, I just kind of did a quick search. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, they don't have the numbers for Black UK, but they have interesting numbers for Black America.
Who cares about America?
I hear you.
Boy, have you seen the beef that's going online?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, go on.
So check this out. While black men marry white women at twice the rate that black women marry white men,
yes.
In 2017, only 15% of black men were married to non-black women, which is up from 11% in 2010. And about 3/5 of those non-black women were white.
All right.
So
what about the women?
They didn't say nothing about it.
Well, that's not fair.
So hang on. So there is evidence of an increase of black men marrying out of their racial demographic. As a matter of fact, the Pew Research Center released a report finding that 25% of black male newlyweds in 2013 married non-black women, compared to 12% of black women who married out. So 12% of black women are marrying out of the race, and 25% of black men are marrying out of the race.
Can I say this? It just might sound really bad, yeah, but let me think about it. No, stop telling me not to say it. I'll say it.
However, Asian women and Native Americans still have higher rates of interracial marriage. Black women were the least likely to marry non-black men at only 7% in 2017, and only 4% were married to white men. Sorry. So,
because I was thinking it in my head.
So that same percentage that we were saying, we said nearer 1%, didn't we? It's 4%.
Well, I was right then.
That's America, though.
That's America, yeah.
I feel that the type of black man is that would go out with a white woman is more likely to marry than the type of black man that is happy, that doesn't want to go out with a white woman. So you have higher cases of marriage.
That's bullshit.
I don't think it is.
I think that's bullshit.
I don't think it is.
I think that's actually complete bullshit as well.
Right.
So, because again, are we just talking about this region? Because
no, I think the type of black man that wants to go out with somebody that's not black is more likely to just get married. Full stop.
What? So all the Nigerians that you know that just want to get married?
No. I didn't say that black men don't want to get married. That black men that go out with black men, people don't want to get married. I said there's a higher percentage, because we know men that are just happy to date or happy to be with a woman, and marriage is not the biggest thing in the world. But I'm saying that the type of black man that goes out or prefers to go out with a non-black woman is the type of black man that is more likely to want to get married or to lock down that person once they find them.
I think that's bullshit.
Okay, that's fine.
Go to all them churches. All these black men that's there that want to get married. There's bare black men that want to get married.
I don't agree with that.
I didn't say there's black people that want to get married.
Then I don't understand what you're
saying.
When
I say there's more, the chances are.
Yeah, I'm saying that's wrong. I'm saying it's wrong.
That's fine. You can say it's wrong, but
decided to give this little two pence man or whatever they are that want to say they want to marry outside the race. More props than the ones that want to get married. I
don't say that getting married is a reason to give somebody props.
Okay, so what are you saying then?
Them people in a relationship that have been together 20, 30 years happily is more than my 3 years with my wife.
Okay,
so it's not about.
Are you saying that more? Let me just get it clear. More people that want to date outside their race want to get married.
Not want to. I said they're more likely. They're more inclined to.
So
it's not about want to. It's about their.
I just think that's bullshit.
I understand. You keep saying that. That's fine. I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is you cannot use the argument that black people want to get married to black men do want to get married to black women. That doesn't negate what I said. So you can't
negate what you said.
No, it doesn't. I didn't say.
Black men are getting married more and more. In fact, I bet you if you actually look at the stats, especially younger black males now are getting more and more likely to get married, quite younger as well, to black people than before. So I don't understand now what you're telling me.
But I'm not arguing with that. This is what I'm saying.
Then what are you arguing about then?
I am saying, all right, let's say back in the day it was 5 black men. So let's stick with black men that want to be with black women.
Yeah.
Let's say back in the day it was 5 out of 10 that wanted to be married or that got married.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it's 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with that. It's nothing to do with that. I'm saying if it was 5 before, now I'm talking about the black men that want to go out with non-black women, that if 5 of them the others were going to get married, that was 6 now. And if it's 6 before with the black and black, then it's 7 with the black on white. And if it's 7 with the black on black, then it's 8 with the, that's what I'm saying. I'm not counting the numbers.
I don't agree.
Of the that's.
I don't think you're
yes.
rubbish,
Okay.
if I'm honest. But
but I'm the one that's rude. Because you've told me many times that you disagree, then you have to tell me I'm chatting rubbish.
But you don't think there's anything wrong with saying people saying they're chatting rubbish?
No, you
think there's no problem with people saying they're chatting rubbish?
I said you can't say it to me and not be disrespectful.
Okay. All right. Okay, sorry.
Should we move on?
Probably.
Say sorry, sir.
No.
I'm not
Can I
asking.
He's your elder brother. Say sorry, sir.
No, I'm not saying sorry, nothing. I don't understand. He said there's nothing wrong with it. So then why is now?
I've told you there's something wrong with you saying something. So it's not that I didn't say there's nothing wrong with it.
So it's privilege.
So, of course, it's privilege. And can I say that there's privilege in all forms of life. Everybody has a certain privilege. Something happened just the other day, and I said, "See, that's woman privilege." A man would never. I was telling my wife, I can't remember what it was, but I said a man never would have got that. And it's just that is such. For me, that's just life. Life is life. Unfortunately, things work that way. I'm cool with people trying to change things that need to be changed, and this is wrong. But if you're just trying to change how people think, in terms of men prefer looking at women, for instance, in general. So you say, well, anyway, that's
Can I ask you a question?
It's hard to do that.
It's
just me.
Do you see?
No, if it's just
One thing I do notice though is that
traveled so far.
One thing I do see is that I think that one thing I'll say, and I might be wild in this, black men are more likely to hold a white woman's hand on the road than they are to hold a black woman's hand.
Gaza we said,
but they're not married. They're not more likely to marry that black.
No,
woman.
I don't think. I don't think the marriage thing is right.
Okay,
because every time I see black men with a white woman, they're always holding their hand.
Because maybe this is the thing. I don't disagree with you. But that is exactly the same thing as what I'm talking about. And that I was rubbish. And I don't.
Rubbish.
Okay, mine is rubbish. And yours is not rubbish, but they're going down the same road.
You can say that mine is rubbish.
I'm not saying it's rubbish. I agree with you, but I'm saying
that's the difference between me and you. Isn't it? I agree with you. You agree with me. I don't agree with you.
Syndrome.
It's what?
Munchausen syndrome.
I forgot what that one is again. Man.
I don't know what that one is.
Do you think I'm wrong though?
Well, you're so inept to your captor that you have to just keep holding them. No, but I see what you're saying, Wahala. It does. I've seen more mixed couples holding hands than I would see a black couple holding hands.
And that goes vice versa as well, black women and white men.
Yeah.
Maybe white people are more tactile than blacks.
Yeah, maybe they're more likely to want to get married too.
I don't understand how, as black men, we have an issue with PDA.
I'll be honest, it's always been there. It's been taught to me from my elders.
What? Don't touch a woman.
Not don't touch a woman, but like PDA.
Keep that stuff in your house.
Yeah, keep that stuff in your house. Like that's always been taught to me. So like it's always been strange to me also when older black people have expressed their discontent with homosexuals kissing in public, and people are saying, "Oh, that's homophobic," when in actual fact, those same black people would have a problem with you kissing a woman outside. They just don't like public displays of disrespect. Why are you doing that?
Would you kiss your woman in public?
Would I kiss my woman in public? I have done, but I do feel uncomfortable.
What about the rest of you, man? Yeah,
Stavros will do it with pleasure.
I don't mean a peck. I mean a proper snog.
I'll do it, man. But
I've never done a proper snog.
I'm a whore, so I do everything.
And the only reason why is because, like I said, I've always been. There's been two things about public displays of something. One is about the kissing and the holding and fondling and all that. I've been told that
all of that ish,
all of that stuff. Yeah, you don't do that in public.
All of that crap.
And the other thing is you don't eat food in public. You know, sometimes you see someone walking down the street with a bag of chips, eating it. We don't see so much now, but eating a bag of chips or like open bag of chips walking down the street.
You don't see it so much now. All the chicken shops.
The chicken. I said
3:30, 4 o'clock.
I said bag of chips.
He said you don't see it so much now.
Yeah, but bag of chips.
Bag of chips, bro. Don't matter. That's not chicken shop. A bag of chips.
So, yeah, you don't see that so much now.
Sorry.
But again, my granddad was hellbent on that. He's like, oh, I can't bloody stand when people are walking down the street eating. And I'm like, I even asked him, I said, what was wrong with it? Like you ain't got no house to go to. And I'm like, bro, why are you worried about that? But
because black people are always worried about perception.
Always. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's
a massive difference between black people and white people, you know?
Yeah,
white people do not give a shit about perception.
Because they haven't had to.
I just want you to know that I'm very happy we got to that point in the conversation because it permeates through the whole hour, or well, it's not an hour yet, or that we've been talking. That point there is a massive underpin, or it's a massive pillar or concrete foundation to everything we've been talking about.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what Stavros is saying is perception is the subject matter.
So busy looking elsewhere. So busy. The reason I don't have as many issues, me and my wife have this kind of conversation when I tell her, wow, this is popping on social media. And she's like, why? And I'm like, babe, I don't know. If I didn't see this, I never would have noticed. And she's the same. We're oblivious to stuff because we're just cool within ourselves. I think once you're cool within yourself, in your cocoon of coolness, you stop worrying so much about things outside, for better or for worse. Because sometimes you could be so cool, you could be so secure, so happy, so much in comfort that there are people in pain or that are without, and they're around you, and you're not even paying no mind to them because you're just so comfortable. It's like I can't even understand it.
Would you snog your woman outside?
I have done and I do. Yes.
So it's not a problem for you.
I don't have a problem with.
What about holding hands?
Don't have a problem with that either.
What about you, Wala?
Yeah, I'll kiss my woman. I'll kiss her. I'll give her a bum tap as well, quite often. But I'm one of those aggressive blacks. Isn't it? I like to.
Yeah,
be,
you don't look like you.
I'm an owner. I'll be holding her. I'll hold her by the wrist or whatever it is, or by the forearm,
back of the neck.
I'll hold her by the arm. I don't do hold her back of the dog business.
I love the men that hold the women by the back of the neck.
Come here. It's what white man's that do that move, man. Like proper dog movements. You go where I take you.
Why does it have to be a dog, man? Why can't it just be an assertive man?
No, man. It's like it's like a lead.
Hashtag ESN pod. Ladies, let us know if you like it when a man holds you at the back of your neck. Like,
there's only one time we need to hold a woman by the back of her neck, bruv.
Goddamn 47.
And we said it. But I just think that regarding this whole situation,
Mad.
I don't know, man. I never notice it. Maybe the black men do it, and I just don't notice it. But I always notice it with black men and white women. They tend to hold their hands.
I notice both. It just doesn't happen.
Blah, blah,
Are your prospective females as open and happy with PDA?
My one is not. Stavros' wife is not as happy with PDA as I am because she's standing beside me. Like, I don't want people knowing I'm with him.
Not you.
I'm not with him. So this child that looks like both of us. No.
Yeah, I would be interested. I would be interested to.
It's his cousin. It's his cousin.
I would be interested if we could get some answers on that on Twitter. If black women do like PDA. Because public displays of affection.
I don't think they do.
Because just in case people didn't know what PDA meant, it's not a phone. So yeah, because I don't know, man. My missus doesn't mind it. She quite likes when I'm being affectionate too. But my missus is an affectionate person. She likes affection. She likes that type of stuff. So maybe she's not as bad as others, but
I think in general black women are not they're less inclined to PDAs,
and I think it's because of what other races as well that we've been taught not to do it.
Yes.
Like we saw my mum and dad dance one time, and it was like the most amazing thing ever. I don't think I've ever seen my dad kiss my mum, or maybe I have, and it would have been an event.
Yeah, never. If we've seen them kiss, let's say 10 times in our lives, then 8 of them would have been at some sort.
It would have been some form of thing, like if it was their name is like their anniversary or something.
Somebody would be in the house. It'll never just be my mum, dad, and me, or me and my brother, and then they kiss. They would have to. It
would be an event.
People would be in the house, even if it's not. Like,
I think when they renew their vows, maybe birthday or something like that.
They renew their vows every 10 years.
So they're on occasion they PDA for occasions.
Yes, when there's a
they
snapshot
keep their stuff
involved.
private.
So the Instagram PDA.
Yeah, the Instagram PDA. When there's a snapshot involved, they will do it, but they will never just.
Take a picture of me kissing my wife.
That's what I say. When I saw my dad dance with, like one time they was just playing music and he just started to dance with my mum. I was like, "What's going on there, mate?"
Oh yeah, snap me picture.
Yes, we recorded it.
We had to ask if there was a problem.
Are you alright? You're right.
Anybody want to talk about R. Kelly and his I Admit song? Because I haven't heard it. I don't care about it. I ain't listening to it.
Well,
so I'm leaving that to you guys.
You know my start from R. Kelly.
No, we don't. You like them women now.
Fuck R. Kelly.
You should know. All right. So
I've said it many times on the podcast before.
Simple.
I tried to listen to it. I didn't get very far.
Sorry, 19-minute I Admit song.
Yeah, it was a long song.
EP boy.
I didn't get to finish it. I didn't.
What was he admitting in the song? Does anybody know?
I'd listen to it.
I know you would.
You would.
I'm an R. Kelly fan. I don't care. Simple.
Oh my god.
Nah, listen, the music is the music.
Burn you.
Judge the man if you want to judge the
Your
man.
hairline will be gone tomorrow.
You. He just admit his faults as a man. He admits lying to his family, not being 100%, not being able to read, cheating his label mate. Yes, he'd had affairs with women, older women, young women.
Hang on, did he say he can't read?
Yeah, he said he can't read.
This is a well-known industry
Big up
thing.
Floyd Mayweather.
But
Keep going.
But he's admitted to it now.
Big up Floyd. He got
One segment of the song, he said, "Don't bring your daughters to my concert and expect nothing not to happen when you want something to happen, and then expect money in return for something happening." So it's like
he's mad.
Yeah, he basically said this is a story that had come out that parents or fathers have brought daughters to the concert knowing that the daughters are going to want to do something with R. Kelly. R. Kelly will say, don't do that because if something does happen, don't expect a payout. So like, I'm going to do something, but you want money for it, so like you're pimping your daughter to me.
He didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he never mentioned underage, though, did he?
He did mention underage. He mentioned age. I can't remember if he said
young,
she's too old for me or she's too young for me.
He's trash, man. I'll burn him, man.
I got the impression he was happy to say that from other people I've heard talk about it, that he admits all this kind of stuff that many men might admit.
Did he admit to the Aaliyah thing?
He mentioned something about it, but I can't remember.
All the juicy, man. You can't remember
because there's a lot of things that he was talking about.
It's a 19-minute song.
Yeah, it was a lot. He was talking about him.
I
sat down with Wendy Williams. I didn't give her Hennessy, but we did smoke, and she started lying about me, and I will lie back about her because I know the truth of what happened, and she's glorifying certain things. So he went on and on and on about so many things.
Fuck R. Kelly, man. Let's just go to the next thing. I don't even want to give him any time.
It was simple. You were just about to say something. You were going to respond to something.
No, I wasn't.
I think we should all listen to it and have our own opinions.
No, thank you.
I really don't care, man.
Did he hurt you that bad, Wahala?
No, I don't have time for that, man. I'm not supporting that.
I just don't care about him enough to listen to. I saw 90 minutes. I said no.
I used to think that
How much does a blue tick on social media boost your status? Do you want to talk about Trevor Noah's Aboriginal ladies joke? Do you want to talk about the dude that directs what's the
Guardian of the Galaxy?
Guardian, the film that our boy was in, the Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Why is your eye so wide?
If I could see it.
That's crackhead wide, you know.
Yeah, and his eyes are even yellow
James
as well.
Gunn.
James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1
well,
and writer.
The other paedophile.
It was a pedophile. Yeah, the joke thing.
Yeah, that's why they got rid of him, because he was joking about molestation of boys and kids.
He made jokes,
several jokes as well.
Yeah, but he counts himself as a comedian. It's like certain comedians. In fact, hearing a lot of comedians, the one thing that they universally say, and even Travis J said it last week, is it's their job to push boundaries. It's their job. They push. All comedians say this. They say they hate people complaining about it. The reason why my man takes people's phones when he come to the thing is like, apart from the fact that I want you to live in the moment, it's just I don't want all this social media backlash on blah blah blah. It's a joke. That's what these people. It's
that's
joke.
The reason why I take the phones.
I said part of it. I've heard him say it. That I don't like people. Not only do you be there, stop recording, in general, stop taking pictures, listen to what I'm saying. But part of it is that I don't want you to post it 5 minutes later saying Dave Chappelle said this and that, and there's some backlash of something I said on as a joke. It's a joke. You're here for jokes. Don't take, because remember, you post a 3-minute clip online. It's taken completely out of context of everything he said before and everything he said after. So.
That's for contractual agreements and to make sure that these things don't come out before it's meant to come out.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But that's what comedians say anyways. They're there to push.
But what did he? Let's explain what happened. So he directs and writes the Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he directs it. He writes it. He's done the first 2. They were very popular. He was signed on to do the third one. He was about to start writing it because I think they were meant to record this year. I think sometime this year. 10-year-old tweets came up due to he's very anti-Trump, and he says a lot of stuff against Trump and against the Republican and the right. Now, a prominent right-wing somebody, scumbag, they say, brought up this stuff because he was upset with, well, look at this guy, he's gunning us. Look what he said 10 years ago. And his joke, he made jokes about pedophilia, or
molestation kids and molest boys. And
all right, so he's apologized for this in the past, before, yeah? So before this thing has happened, he's apologized and said, I went too far with those jokes. Because there were jokes at the end of the day. They weren't jokes in good. They weren't funny jokes. They weren't jokes in good taste. But they were jokes. It's quite clear that they were jokes. So he's apologized for that. But anyways, this person brought it up. Said, look what's happened to him. When Roseanne said certain things, she got cancelled straight. It seems it seems like it's when us people say something, as in people on the right, when we say something, we get done for it. When you liberals and you free thinkers say stuff, you get away with everything. And Disney, who own Marvel, or the Marvel film stuff, cancelled him immediately. There was no long. It was like within a 24-hour period of him bringing it up, his old tweets, they cancelled his contract.
They're right to do so.
All right. I would say I don't think so.
I would say they're right to do so because of the context of what he was saying and the audience of the people that are meant to be watching his films.
Yeah, it's to protect and those members, because Disney and the MCU universe cater for kids and the young adults, and that's a growing and emerging market. That's their money for the next however many years. So they don't want to distill the water in any way. So anybody that's looking to bring something that's tainted or shady, can't have you around.
It's gone, mate. Gone. You can't be talking about molesting kids and think that it's all right to do working for Disney. Gone.
Yeah, it's to save the Disney brand.
Yeah.
Because in reality, Walt Disney was a pedophile anyway.
Yeah, but that's Walt Disney, and you can't besmirch his name.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Because it's King Walt.
But do you get what
I know exactly.
Yeah,
what
so
you're saying.
it's like we just have to remove. We have to remove any suggestion that you can start bringing that paedophilia talk back over here. Because
Goofy and Pluto were dirty bastards.
But the thing about this now is that all of the cast members are coming back. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are saying, "Nah, you need to bring him back."
One of the tweets is, "I like when little boys touch me in my silly place." That's one of the tweets. Let me see if I can find some more.
Like,
the best thing about being raped is when you're done being raped and it's like, woo, that feels great, not being raped.
These are not even funny.
That is a bit.
Yeah,
that one made me actually feel uncomfortable.
So yeah, rape and paedophilia jokes.
Oh, I'm no longer being raped. Oh.
Nah, man, you gotta come off.
I didn't know.
You gotta come off because you didn't even delete the tweets.
See, that's the thing.
I think he might have.
And
you know, the internet. You can't ever delete anything.
Can't hide
properly,
from the internet. It doesn't hide.
It's in cache, bro.
This is what the situation is, though. You're looking at the merits of a man as his ideals and his whatever he thinks as a man, but him as a creative, as a writer, and what he produces is amazing. But you, the person, you're a scumbag.
It's just all right.
Dave Chappelle would have done those tweets, and you people would have said, sorry, not tweets, sorry, jokes. Dave Chappelle could have easily said that rape joke. I'm not having no at me. I'm not having none of it. He could have easily said something.
He might have even done one like that.
Or something aligned with that tweet, something on that level. But my point is, when you put it in, that's why he wouldn't want something like that taken out.
I want to back what the actor just said. No, I want to back what you said, because, and this is why I have a great problem with all of these problematic characters that are coming out, and this judgment that we have where we automatically apply the person to their creation. And yes, I know the creation comes from that person, but you can't, I don't know, it's difficult. They're shit at being human beings, but they're fantastic at whatever they create. And we don't make that distinction. We kind of put the two things together and say...
No, I think people do.
No, we say because he created that, he's now cancelled, and I don't want to have anything to do with the creation. That's the whole R. Kelly argument.
What?
The man makes great music.
No one ever told you R. Kelly does not make great music.
Yeah, but then
everybody would fully tell you R. Kelly makes great music. They will then tell you that he's a paedophile.
Yes.
So because he's a paedophile, I am not going to support the great music.
Okay.
What do you mean they don't make a distinction?
So what I'm saying is, in that case, you're saying you don't want to listen to any of his music anymore. Yeah? And I'm saying, okay, fine. If you're talking about anything new that he makes, fine. But the old stuff that you've been listening to all that time, people have cut all that shit off as well.
Yeah, so what's the problem with that?
Okay.
It's the distinction between the man
and the music. That's what I'm
but
saying.
They've made a distinction. They've said that this person is a paedophile. I do not want to listen to this man's music anymore. I don't want to hear anything from this man. I don't want to do anything to do with this man. So I don't want to support him by playing his music, because as far as I'm concerned, you're saying in the past, but they could be streaming that music in the past. That's still putting money in his pocket. They don't want to be promoting that music to people outside that could potentially hear it.
In his 19-minute songs, he said he sold all the royalties to his music because he's illiterate and he doesn't make any money. That's why he's touring, because he needs to tour to make money.
Okay.
Can you imagine? R. Kelly.
Yeah, but you're making that face, but does anybody else know that?
I'm not saying, but
no one else knows that. So let's not even use that as an example.
But
we all know it now because 19 minutes is.
And I don't necessarily have to believe it.
That should have been the name of the song. 19 minutes.
So in the end, people don't want to promote his music. But you playing somebody's music anywhere, that's a promotion.
All right, but in that respect, does that mean Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2 should be cancelled because of James Gunn?
Thank you.
Because of his jokes?
Yeah.
Because of his jokes. Yeah. Because of him as a person.
It's up to you.
Well, no. What's your take on it? Because you're heavy with the R. Kelly thing. What's your take on this now?
No, because for the R. Kelly thing, he was a paedophile. This one, he's making stupid jokes. I don't agree with the jokes. You're asking me, should he? Hold on, let me finish.
Fired?
Yes, I think he should be fired. I think he should be fired, but doesn't mean that then I think he's a paedophile. I think he should be fired because you cannot be associated to that brand.
Do you think he's a paedophile because there hasn't been any rumours to defamatory or anything to come out to say that?
So if it turns out he was a paedophile,
did you even listen to what I just said?
But I'm saying if it turns out that he was a paedophile,
if he was a paedophile, then cancel everything.
So you would stop. What you wouldn't watch Galaxy 1 and 2 again because of that?
I've seen them both already.
Let's say that the film Avengers 4 is made, and then it comes out that the people that wrote it and produced it and directed it, different bunch of people had some child sex ring that they were all part of before the film comes out.
Yeah.
Would you then watch the film?
No.
Woo! I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm still watching that film. I ain't lying to you. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Would you not go to the cinema to watch it?
No, I'm not going to watch that film.
But you watch it online?
I wouldn't watch it online.
If it came on Channel 5?
I wouldn't watch that film. Especially if it was known that there was a paedophile ring and these people still allowed them to make the film and still released it. I'm not watching it.
I'll watch it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Watch it.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mad.
I'm not watching it.
Wow.
I'm not backing that.
So would you be happy if people spoiling it for you knowing that you're not gonna watch it?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I like that. I like that you stuck to your gun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Stuck to James Gunn.
It's very different if, it came out after the film and the film's already been made and blah. You're saying that these men knew and they still released it. Nah, you're taking a piss.
I like that. I like that.
It was like that with a lot of other people in their movies, though.
Keep going.
I didn't know though.
Yeah, but he didn't necessarily know. Okay.
Even Bryan Singer films, I'm a bit. I don't know if I'd watch.
What did he do again?
He's a pedophile as well. Yeah, and he had the pedophile ring.
Bryan Singer had a pedophile ring.
He is.
What did he? Boy.
You know what my biggest
That's the one his daughter died, isn't it? She committed suicide?
No, that's Zack Snyder.
So Bryan Singer. So is he? Does he do anything in Hollywood then?
X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men, man.
No, but does he still do stuff? I mean,
He still does stuff, yeah.
oh, I don't. Okay, I don't know.
You need to watch the film that they got of this. Have you seen the film?
I haven't seen it yet.
When you watch that film, you just be like, rot.
Of which film? What film?
It's like a film about the pedophile ring that he was involved with, and it's about they had some like production company, and they had all these kids, and they was just raping the kids in the bruv. It's a deep thing.
What's wrong with people?
I don't know.
It's power. That's what power does.
You know
to
the thing I've never understood. I can get the idea of a paedophile. Yeah, I can get it. I don't agree with it, obviously, but I can get the idea. I cannot see how these people connect and link up. Where did these people find each other?
Online.
On the dark web.
That I'm happy to. Before there was a dark web, there was no dark web, And these people, before internet, these people still find each other.
Yeah, because they're doing sex rings.
Yeah, but it's coded.
Newspaper.
How would you
all these articles that you have like different names and different codes? You meet somebody in a dirty place, or people are selling
dirty place.
People are selling children. You find out someone where they're selling a child. Do you know anyone else that does this? Yeah, I know someone.
Okay. Listen.
How do people used to sell drugs?
Listen.
I didn't know what a drug dealer was.
Listen. Person A grows up and becomes 25 and realizes they are, or whenever, throughout their life, they realize they are attracted to young 10-year-old boys or girls. Yeah, they get to that age, they do something or whatever, right? Unthinkable. But for some reason, they want to find somebody else that they can do that with. Before the internet, where does this 25-year-old, who did they go to ask?
You don't.
Excuse me. Are you interested in young people like me?
You don't.
You go to sex shops. You go to sex places.
You don't. What you have to realize is that there are going to be nuanced things that person does or is inclined to that other people who are of his nature will be inclined to, and he will be able to identify that in them, and you won't see it.
And some of the biggest pedophile rings and whatever, they come about from when you go to rehab for this, or when you go to AA meetings and things like that. You will meet other people in the same circles, but some of them haven't been cured of their disease or their illness or whatever you want to call it, and they will attach themselves to someone else who's involved, and then that's how another ring would start.
Okay.
Or you got things like you have like pedophile films or whatever, and then you'll find out who produced them, and then you go and link up that way. Bro,
there's always messages in the films as well.
Yeah, they'll put you like if you want, and they'll have sex magazines and stuff.
I like the way Simple Simon put it. That resonated with me. I understand.
Some people see it. I was watching. There was one program I watched, and it was a bit like that. Sorry, go say what you say.
Go on.
It was a bit like that. So one guy he was trying to find his daughter in the program, and one guy was a pedophile. He was a pedophile, but he didn't sleep with the girl until she became of age, apparently. But he was like the girl when he was younger. A bit like, what this Tiger did, yeah? But anyway, so to find his daughter, they've assumed that she's in a pedophile ring somewhere, yeah? To find his daughter, he took this guy and said, look, where do you people that do this?
Where do you go?
Where do you go? And then he took him to one man's place, and then they was on him, and they could say, you know what? He goes, yeah, he's one of them. No, in fact, sorry. Actually, one girl that was molested by a man.
This is why I got interrupted.
She saw him. Sorry, I know, I'll get it wrong. Right, so she was molested by a man, and then she said to him, the other guy, that guy's a pedophile.
that other guy.
Yeah, he goes, that guy's a pedophile, and he goes, what do you mean? He goes, I can see it on him. You can just sense it. When you've been around them enough, you just know.
Okay. Did he have a badge?
It was a brown one.
Okay.
What Simple Simon said about characteristics and being able to sense these kind of things in other people, I understand, because I am filth, and I see filth in women where the person that doesn't have that filth is like what they call this gaydar thing. Something they mentioned, a gay person will recognize another gay person, even though there's no outward attributes showing, or flamboyant things or whatever to show that they're actually gay. Me as a filth person, I see filth, and then filth sees me, and we nod at each other, and then I show them the ring, and I move away.
You're a joker.
Now, it hasn't happened since I've been married, but blatantly, when I see filth, I know filth. All right, what we got? Another half hour.
You said that with a bit of pride.
So do you think
yes, there's pride in it.
Do you think
I'm filth, and I love it.
Are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go to the next thing, but
I want
to talk about that blue tick still.
Yeah, okay.
Filthy slag.
Yeah.
He said it. Yeah.
Total slag.
All right.
Is blue ticks giving you props out here in the streets?
Fuck blue ticks.
Whoa. Wancom.
What?
I meant hold up. Sorry.
We were all looking at you like, what? Please explain this.
When you say blue tick, do you mean the verified tick?
Yes, the verification. There's a verification giving you props now. Are you getting vagina because of your verified?
Oh, that kind of props.
That's proper props. Are people treating you differently because you got the verified tick?
Yes, the answer is yes.
How differently do you think people are getting?
You get another 5% of respect or like, I'm paying attention to you. I'll pay attention to something you said. If there's a thread on Facebook or on Twitter and there's 20 people there, the one with the blue tick will get more. I'm not talking about being liked or retweeted, but you'll pay more attention to what they said than necessarily the other 19 because they have that accreditation.
What was the equivalent of the blue tick before the blue tick existed?
Money.
No, because you have to remember what the blue tick represents. The blue tick represents an idea that you are endorsing the digital identity. You are saying that this digital identity is a real identity and it is attached to the real person. That's what the verification is about.
Now it is, not before. Not on Twitter.
What do you mean?
On Twitter, it started off you're a
celebrity,
kind of, yeah. Basically,
and this is the real account for the celebrity.
Now, yeah, but you had to be somebody for you to get that tick. Full stop.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the mechanism is about endorsment.
Yeah, but
the endorsement is about.
Yeah, but now in theory, anybody in theory, because you can go on Twitter and apply to get you and show proof of who you are, and they can give you a ticket. You don't have to be anybody. You could have one follower and live in a village by yourself. But as long as you can prove you are, just like you said, who you are, and this is your account, you should get the blue tick. But before, you could be that one person in the village. If you haven't done anything, if nobody knows who you are, you wouldn't have got the blue tick in the beginning because you're, as far as they're concerned, you're nobody. You had to be, in brackets, somebody before you could get the blue tick and then be verified. So I think that history of it still lingers on to today. Because the majority of people that aren't, and I'm putting this in inverted commas, I don't want to insult anyone, but I'm in part of this bracket. If you're not somebody of some sort of status, you still don't get the blue tick. Only people that have a certain amount of followers or a certain status get the blue tick, even up to now. Even though, like I said, in theory, anybody can get it. So because you have that status, it's almost like a celebrity status. So it's a celebrity status online.
So again, before the blue tick, what was the blue tick?
I think the latter day blue tick was if you had a party, like if you was 8 years old.
Early day blue or pre-blue tick, you mean? Not latter day.
Early day blue tick.
Let him be wrong if he wants to be wrong. God.
Yeah, let me be wrong and strong.
Looking like a creme brulee.
Mad. Your early day blue tick. If you was like 8 years old or whatever, and you had a birthday party, how many kids will come to that birthday party? That would be your blue tick.
So you
took it all the way to like 8-year-old.
Yes, that would be your blue tick.
So your attraction to
popularity.
People.
Yeah.
Your popularity is your blue tick.
Yeah.
So if you was to say web slinger or the actor, whatever you call yourself these days,
Bob.
I'm having a rave. If you can get 50,000 people to that rave, or you can get 100 or
50,000, you know,
that's how
pushing
we roll
it,
out
bro.
here,
Pushing
man.
it.
All right, but if you can get 200 people to your rave,
Mm.
and you know, and the next man like Simple can only get 10, you are the blue tick, and he's just a normal subscriber.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fully co-signing what.
So that was what I was
said.
used to be in the past. So then, going by the past, then
We would have had ticks.
you reckon you would have ticks?
Of course, man.
Oh my god, this man thinks
We
he's
would have.
special.
No, we
I'm
would have.
not thinking I'll smash it.
We would have had
I
ticks.
said I think you special. You think you're special.
I know I'm special.
From our individuality, from our individual statuses alone, we has ticks. From Slagfest and everything Slagfest created, we are beyond legendary.
Every time I see them talk about that Henny Palooza and do say Palooza or whatever,
Yeah.
I always think of us, man. That's like Fest. Man just started to do a party and then just made it big. More people just came to the party and then we just grown in the party and then suddenly everybody was just part of that party.
Yeah.
We could have been promoters anyway. We should have been promoters. We'll probably got us a lot more money than doing this.
Well, my first rave when I was like 19, I was still in university anyways.
You had the red
So
party.
19, and I had a red party, and for some reason I was
Well,
mad.
you both had a red party. 'Cause you
Yeah,
did it together.
I was gonna
When-
delve into that.
When I was 19,
Yeah,
I had my first rave.
You are an
because you weren't
important. You are an
No, I weren't
important
19.
part of the story, because you'd heard raves before, didn't
of
it?
the story. Yes.
So that's why I said my first, because as far as I was concerned, web slinger. Sorry,
He did it.
That actor, that
he did it
actor
in
has done things.
association with me.
It was our thing, innit?
Now he wants to say our thing.
Of course it was, but
when I was,
it was
my rave.
my first rave, and maybe one of your early raves. I don't know how many you had done before. I don't.
You
know.
came on board with me and did some.
Wow.
I brought you in, bro. Let's
Wow.
Well, it's not
say
the
it
case. Well, you had the venue, don't it?
Yeah, let's say how it is, man. I brought you in.
You had the venue, and I actually did everything else.
That's right. You were my worker.
Oh my days. You call you a runner, you know?
You could look at it if you wanted to look at it
Snowfall
like
up
that.
in this bitch.
But
Come
the,
on,
the
yeah.
people that came because of me. Anyway, so
Whatever.
but my point is that we had this is when black people could do raves in West End, and we could get a club
This
in
is
Shaftesbury
Shaftesbury Avenue.
Blood Clot
Blood
Avenue. Can you imagine?
Avenue.
As a 19, 20-year-old, just with no money, because that's the important part. If I had money, it would have been different. No money, holding a rave in Shaftesbury Avenue, and people came, and then but not enough for my liking,
No, not enough people came, but people came.
and so that's why they want to
but
hold
we did
rave
have
number
some.
2.
We did have celebrities in there though.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Was we at that party?
It's my brother, because I was there.
But he said he was 19.
Yeah, so
You would have been there.
I was there at
Not
the
you.
party.
Not you.
Oh, Simple.
Why wasn't Simple there? Why weren't you there, bro?
Because I don't know if
Simple would have been there, maybe.
I feel like I was at a red party. I do remember your hair being red.
I'm sure he was
in
at
a
the
red
red
suit.
party.
There's pictures though. There's pictures.
No, but the red
sure
suit.
he
I
was
had a
at the
red
red
suit.
party.
I had red hair.
You had a red bandana on, man.
Yeah, I think I was
Maybe.
there. I think
He was
I was
there. We
Yeah,
did have
I
celebrities
did.
there.
It was a Harley Davidson.
We had
bandana,
Rachel
I
from S
remember.
Club 7. She was there.
Wow. Anyway, what was my point?
big move.
My point was that was the kind of thing that showed.
That was our blue tick.
You don't. Well, like I said, I don't think I was
Man,
I was
like
halfway.
life.
I was halfway on the tick.
Man at lower life should have a blue tick.
Yeah, of course.
If we took it to that stage, people that in the before the millennium,
Yeah, man like
Or-
people like Charlie Brown back in the day, we should have had a tick.
before 2000,
Of course,
Cracker Charlie.
No,
Oh,
Charlie
fuck
Brown is in the promoter Charlie
Oh,
Brown.
yeah, definitely.
Crackhead Charlie. Shout out Crackhead Charlie. He's the one that bagged the Asian chicken at the stairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, behind the bush.
Behind the bush.
What?
Somebody else was at the stairs, isn't it?
What?
Was he not at the rave? You
No,
were
he
at
wasn't
that
at that
rave.
rave.
And you know what? You banged Cracker Charlie's girl though. You know that, yeah?
She was my girl first.
Hold on, when you were talking about stealing chicks, is this the one you were talking about?
No.
So you were just stealing bare of your bedrooms, banging bare of
She
your
was
bedrooms.
my chick.
I do remember
In
this.
fact, that leads right into the Faith Evans and Stevie J thing. But Karen, anyway,
All right, let's just move on to that because we're running out of time. Anyway. Stevie J apparently has got married to
still wanna remember that rave,
Faith
though.
Evans.
Faith Evans.
I can't remember the rave. I think we come from 10 rooms. Not 10 rooms.
We come from shush rooms. It
Yeah,
was
shush.
It was. We was with
Don't say
Yeah.
because
but we was
other
with him.
people did other things that
Yeah,
night.
we was with him.
Were you not there?
You know me, it's the best nights. I was never there. I don't understand why.
Because we went to someone's house innit, and somebody was
Yeah.
I wasn't there that time.
yeah. Oh no!
You know what?
The Asian girl
No,
was-
sorry, no.
I hate my ex, you know.
No. They didn't bang behind the bush. We were hiding behind the bush, watching them bang.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was banging on the car or in the
It's not
car.
like that.
You got some dirty pants, man.
Yes.
Oh, what do you mean they're banging outside, man? They're banging
they
in
were
the car
banging
park.
outside. Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Because the
Stand
other
there,
girl,
stand there,
the other girl took our brethren upstairs to her yard. Yeah.
Oh, shit, they couldn't even go into the yard.
They banged on the stairs. Anyways,
Stevie J and Faith Evans.
There's something. There's a question I want to ask you about that. They spoke about our free shots actually that I found quite interesting. But let's talk about Faith Evans first.
So Stevie J is now married to Faith Evans. Congratulations. Stevie J is a producer. He's now known for, I think, being in reality programs.
Love and hip hop.
But back in the day,
And cheating on women. That's what he's known for.
Okay. But back in the day, he was a very big producer, part of the Hit Squad, and the Hit Squad was the in-house production team for Bad Boy. So he produced many songs for Biggie Smalls.
Did he?
Yes, Stevie J was part of the Hit Squad.
Second album, maybe not first. Maybe
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, he knew and worked with Biggie Smalls, Faith's first husband. Now, Biggie has been dead for about 20 years or so, or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, 20 years later, he's married the ex-wife or the widow, the widower or widow,
Widow.
the widow of his bedroom, basically, in essence, or his colleague at least.
Yeah.
All right.
Just get to the point.
Would you be happy with your bedroom marrying the person that you were married to 20 years after you died?
This is when I know your ego is massive.
Because I'm dead.
You're dead, bro.
Give a
what
shit.
does it matter?
I'm asking the question. Don't say
Am I gonna come from?
This
Am I
is the
gonna
assumption.
come from whatever afterlife to be like, I'm pissed off about that, brother.
Come from the beyond to tell you
I'm
this.
pissed off about that, brother.
I'm just asking.
I wouldn't care.
Would you do it? Because I think you wouldn't do it. So I think you would.
Would I not? Yes, of course I would.
You would marry somebody. You would marry Simple Simon's.
Yes.
20 years after he's gone.
Yes. 2 years even.
I don't think you would.
Why wouldn't I? Man is dead.
I don't think it's about him being dead or not.
Why not?
Looking like a crap
Because she belonged to him.
Mad.
He is dead.
My wife belongs to me. It don't matter if I die tomorrow. And she's not yet 40. When she's 70, she's still mine.
Man is coming back like ghost, you know.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you.
Man is coming back like ghost.
I'm making moves while you're on the life support machine.
In it. You know the ones in it. When he's on the life support machine and then she puts her hand on his and then you put your hands on hers.
And I'm doing this behind to the air bubble. Oh, nigga, hurry up, nigga, come on.
You know, I know he just.
By accident, taking out the plug by accident. Kicking out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to charge my phone. Life support. I didn't realize.
To charge my phone.
I'm sorry.
My
I'm
God.
sorry.
You men are terrible.
You know these
you know.
androids. They need a lot of battery. They don't. They don't hold their charge. They don't hold their charge. I'm sorry.
You lot are not right.
Plug it back in by all means.
And you know them life support machines have got like a 3-minute restart time, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that alarm was about. I'm sorry.
Can we get a glass of water up in here?
Man wakes up to see the pillow over his face. I'll just plump in your pillows, making you feel comfortable, man.
Yeah, I put your favorite perfume on there. I wanted you to smell it. Your wife's perfume. How do I know what your wife? Don't worry about. I know what your wife.
Oh, you man. Are
Anyway, so
when you
while
bought it,
I
when you
said
bought it.
that he feels no issue, he would have no issue with somebody marrying his widow 20 years after he's gone, and he has no issue with doing it that way around. Simple Simon, the actor. What about you guys? The actor?
I don't know.
I want you to think about the woman you're with now. I don't want some long hypothetical thing. The woman you're with now. Unfortunately, we pass 20 years down the line.
Especially if I've got kids as well, by the way.
Hang on, would I want any of you blacks marrying my woman?
Would you
If I
not
pass.
want? Would you be cool with it?
No.
Then after cool, then you can say, yeah, I'd actually want it. Because some people say, oh, yeah, I'd rather you than somebody else.
No.
If I had kids, I'd rather one of my boys than someone else.
No. If one of my boys is a godfather to my kids, then that's fine. But you don't have to deal with.
Wait, so the godfather can marry the woman?
No. I'm saying your godfather. That's it. But don't trouble the missus.
Oh, you can be,
Yeah.
help raise a child.
Help raise a child. Don't
So
help
what,
raise
I should
anything
go around
else.
the house, do manly things,
Yes.
and not get the piece.
No,
Yes.
Nah, ban that.
was that sideman, innit? That's basically that's a sideman.
Man's going there, more in the lawn and thing, and he's not even getting lemonade. Nah, ban that, bro.
Man's going to mow the lawn, but he can't mow the lawn.
Excuse me, when I die, can you be
can't
my
prune the
wife's
roses.
sideman, please?
Yeah.
Just do all the work and not get back.
Madness.
No, look after, but no bang.
And Jerome, just leave it. Yo, what's up, bro?
Jerome's banging true. Innit? Banging true, and you're there to...
Why didn't
Hold on, you missed a bit in the corner there, bro.
Why didn't Jerome mow the lawn? Oh, Jerome doesn't mow the lawn.
Jerome mows lawn.
Jerome mows lawn.
Jerome trims the bushes.
He don't mow the lawn. He
does the plumbing.
He does the digging.
He does the plumbing.
He's got a big spade.
He lays pipe.
Oh, sorry, we're coming up to the end. So come on. You said no both ways. You wouldn't want to do it to your boys either.
I don't think I want to marry any lots of misses.
Not want to, would you? If like you fall for the person.
Nah, my respect and honor for you would overrule.
Okay, but it's simple. Wahala doesn't. Not only does he not mind, he would.
Him, I don't mind.
Okay, simple Simon.
Me?
I think it depends on which one of the Mandem it is.
Okay, which one would you be happy to bang their wife?
Scan him, bro.
Why you putting it like that for?
Sorry. You're right.
I did buy you a patty, bruv.
Because don't answer that question.
Is that enough?
Don't answer that question.
Is that the currency these days? Patty. I couldn't even stretch a whole meal.
Looking like creme brulee. Patty for naan bread.
Mad.
Don't answer that question, Super Simon. I'm sorry I put it that way. Just so in essence, then by you saying it depends, you would say that it's a potential. You could do.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Would you be happy with one of the mans them being with your widow 20 years after
I died? Oh yeah, after I died, I don't care. Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't want either, Stavros. So
why?
Because
if your missus is actually happy with the person, they like that person, you'd want them to find somebody else.
In his death, he'll be thinking, so what? Did you like her all the time when I was alive?
No, I just
be sitting next to the devil saying, "Why did this happen, bro? Let's discuss this."
I don't know. I don't know, because I have said that I've told my missus, even if something happens to me, then by all means go out and find somebody else. I've told her this already. So now when you're asking what if he's one of your boys, I'm thinking, nah, man. I'm still gonna stick with that. Yeah, same thing.
There's a caveat to that. Go and find with your love.
Yeah, I'm not expecting her
go
to
and find love somewhere, but not anywhere close to me.
Yeah, it's the same as when I'm
in
alive.
Circle.
The same way that a lot I think you people said that, could you be with somebody that's had relations with somebody you know, and I think we've all said as long as they're not too close, then we could have done it.
Yeah, but I'm still alive then.
Yeah, but yeah, go on.
So I want to ask a question based on what you've just said. In traditional culture, there's this idea that when a woman marries into the family, that they become our wife and not just whatever. And then if the husband dies, then the brother is next in line for...
There are some subsections of even our culture, yes?
Yes, that does this,
When I say I mean Nigerian, I don't know if it's my tribe, but yeah.
Yeah, so if in this scenario, if then your brother was would you be alright with that?
My brother?
Yeah, after you've died.
My brother?
After you've died.
Mine?
Yeah.
No way.
Raw.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Out of all the men, he's the worst.
Why am I the worst though?
I don't like the way that you deal with women, so I wouldn't want you dealing with my woman.
Don't like the way I deal with women?
Yeah.
Let's expand on that. God, what does that mean?
I don't like the way you deal with women.
In what way?
I feel that. Are you sure you want to go on this on the podcast? We can talk about it after.
No, I want to hear what you think.
What is the thing? Okay, put it this way. I'm gonna be diplomatic about it, so and don't push me to put it in another way. We can discuss it another way. The things that I say I do, and you look at me and say, "Why would you do that?" Yeah, when I'm talking about my wife, when I'm talking about Mad Cat, and I said I do this or I say this, yeah. Just think of one thing I say I do. Not something that when you bring up, why do you do that? And I say, I shouldn't have. One thing that I say, yeah, I'll do it. And I'm proud of doing it. Like, be brutally honest. Okay, when I say that, I tell her things that you would say, why would you tell her that? Yeah, and I say, yeah, I tell her. I want her to know this about me. Let's say, my missus knows all the women that I've banged, even the ones that she sees all the time. Yeah, and I tell her that this is somebody I've done something with, or I've done something with her, and it's like, why would you push it in her face?
Yeah, but I would tell my missus that. So I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, okay, then when I give you this scenario, then don't scrunch up your face for me to have to rack my brain. I think even you guys have seen there's times where I said I've done something to my missus, and he said, why would you do that? I can't think of a time, but there's bare times I said this, everyone or I did this.
Like
okay, I'm saying that has happened. I don't want to dwell on it too much.
So you think I mistreat my woman?
Not mistreat her. I said I don't like the way you treat her. Your woman likes it, or your women have liked it in the past, and you like it. That is your relationship with your partner, and you're cool with that. The same way that you feel I do certain things with my partner that you wouldn't do with yours is vice versa. So I then wouldn't want you to come and do that with my partner.
The way you said it at the beginning made it sound like I was mistreating women, but fair enough.
No. Well, yeah, there are, okay. there are certain ways that I just think there's certain things that I do that you may have a problem with. I always put it that I wouldn't talk to my wife in any other way. It doesn't compute for me to say it or do it in any other way because it's condescending. And you would say, well, why would you say that? Why would you do that?
Would most people agree with me?
Maybe. I
think the answer is probably going to be yes.
I'm saying maybe. So you can then change. You don't even know what I'm talking about, and then you're going to say, but I know what the answer is.
But you said the way that you would talk. I'm assuming that you're saying I put things I sugarcoat things whilst you add. In fact, you just don't add anything. You basically give them unsugared tea.
Refined.
Yeah, and I give them sugar tea.
Put it this way.
Yeah, you know what you're saying?
We were discussing something earlier on before we started recording where I was quite.
I knew you were going to go back there somehow.
Yes, but just I'm not even going to mention what it is. But I wouldn't necessarily have told my wife what I told the actor. Does that make sense?
No. Excuses and reasons.
We don't have to.
It doesn't matter whether we have to.
Unless people know what we're talking about.
I'm talking. No, end of the day, I don't think anyone outside of this podcast cares about this bit. This is what I didn't want to talk about this. You wanted to talk about it, so don't now start telling me how I'm going to talk about it because nobody cares about me and my brother and this specific part of the conversation.
Well,
apart from leaning over the table like, ooh, these two are talking about how they deal with each other's relationships. I'm just saying that what I said to the actor, you guys said that I was going down this road instead of just giving the blunt thing. And I said I wouldn't have told my missus. I wouldn't have gone down that road to my missus.
So you put sugar in the tea for Webbs, but you wouldn't put any sugar in your wife's?
Because he's the girl,
That really doesn't make sense.
So your woman is a man?
She's built for life. I'll say that she's not a man.
So you're condescending to the women by saying that women need to be sugar coated.
Yes, of course. If by definition, that is being condescending. If you sugarcoat something, that is.
No, I'm saying you said to him that he's the girl. So you're saying that women.
He's the girl, man. Of course, he's the girl.
So I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so I'll leave you to get.
You're clearly an idiot.
Oh no.
It's all right, don't worry.
I understand what you're saying, and I feel that most men, when they say they have to deal with their women in a certain way, that they don't deal with their boys. And you guys have said it before, so you can throw it all on me, but we don't talk to us as men as we do to girls, because most women, most women don't want to hear the way that is put. Case in point, that conversation we started off the thing with. And all of us men said we would have asked that question, what is it you're talking about? And I know a lot of black women wouldn't have been happy with the fact that you even have to ask that question. You should know. You should come with some sort of like common sense. Think for yourself and answer with some respect for us as black women.
So we pacify our women more than we would our boys. And you're saying, well, Hala would pacify or not pacify if he was with your missus after you passed away.
One man can pacify her.
I won't argue with that.
Man remixed it in one time.
I won't argue with that.
What if your woman preferred the person that would be pacified?
She don't.
Okay.
And if she did, I'd be disappointed in her. So I would have.
In death, this man is still fully.
Yeah, disappointed in death.
Well, we can say whatever, but at the end of the day, I have to worry about it.
Man is just sleeping at night.
I'm disappointed. He would be the literal term of turning in the grave.
I'm disappointed. Yeah.
When we buried him, he was on his back. Now he's on his front.
See Stavros out here, the ghost of Christmas past. I'm disappointed. Yeah. One man can.
What question did you have that you were going to ask, Wala?
Oh, okay. It was a quick thing, yeah.
It's never a quick thing.
Well, they were talking about banging on holiday, yeah. Oh, this on Free Shots. Big up Free Shots. Right? They were talking about banging on holiday, and one of them said that one man. Let's say we all had a room. All of us had a house, and we all had a room each, yeah. And then I don't know, what's his name? Mr. Wolf came. He didn't have a room with us, but our 4 man had a room. But you 4 had a girl. No, so you 3 had a girl, and Mr. Wolf had a girl. So yeah, so you 4 had a girl, and I didn't, yeah? So, but he comes back to our house. Am I then inclined to give Mr. Wolf my room and leave that establishment?
Of course. The only thing is, if it's like filthy, dirty, skanky holiday and she's happy to bang in corridor or in gutter.
No. This is not taking it. He wants your room. He wants my room or whoever's room it is.
Yeah, to bang.
Am I then inclined that I have to leave because it's in the middle of the night?
When you say leave, you mean leave the whole hotel?
Basically, well, leave the room in it.
Leave the room for the bang.
It's your room. It's your place that you paid money for.
But do you have like a lounge or something?
No.
There's no lounge in the hotel or that.
Or you can go outside of the hotel, or you can go outside on the street.
But can you go
Is there no front room with a sofa?
You can't go in the front room. You have to leave that room. That room
but is there a lounge downstairs?
Yeah, you can go downstairs.
Yes, I can go to the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your job to leave that room.
Oh, wow.
You're not inclined to do it, but it's entirely up to you.
Should the Mandem do it though?
Of course he should.
You
For the
take one
man, if it's the Mandem, you take one for the team. Everybody has to take one for the team.
It can't be like this is like let's say it's a 2-week holiday and he's found his wife for that 2 weeks. You can't just take over my room. But if
one night only.
One night only. One night only. Yes, but that one night, that room is no longer yours. You shouldn't even have to ask. You should just look at you.
But for me, by rights, you're the cameraman. You got to film all of this. We're making a DVD shit.
Whoa. After talk of us man's had bush. Let's not go into
what.
You're the cameraman.
Imagine there were camera phones them days. So.
Oh my God.
You're the cameraman, bro.
Oh, go on. Is that your real answer?
Yeah, you're doing five different scenes for a DVD, bro.
Okay, you're gonna get it on the thing as well. You go ahead.
I'd film it.
No, what are you doing?
I'd give him up the room and I'd say, "Can I film?"
Why you want to film them, man?
Bruv, why not?
Which one would you love, man?
DVD special.
Stavros Bus is not co-signing.
Yeah, Wale's not co-signing this filming business.
It's a holiday special, man. We've got memories up in here.
No, I didn't say I wanted to film, but I said that he's supposed to be the cameraman. You're going to
No, bruv.
Simple. You're like, yeah, you can come in, but you're filming while I'm banging the girl and you're bringing back.
Simple. You believe that the room should be given up or no?
I'll give up the room.
But do you believe that's like man law basically, or is it just because you're a nice guy?
It's because I'm a nice guy, innit?
It's man law.
I don't know about it.
Let me tell you how much of a G this other guy was. Yeah, he gave up the room, and the man did what he did. He was beaten. Finished. Yeah,
charge man. Innit?
So the man, but he left and had to walk around the area for some strange reason.
Yeah.
He came back. He get to the room. They were still in the room sleeping. I don't think. This is what the man did. He picked up his wallet, apparently, put the wallet outside, and slept on the wallet as like a pillow. I said, that's the
G.
Ultimate wingman.
That's what you're meant to do.
Yeah, that's the G, man.
That's ultimate. I will wake you up. There's no way I'll come back to my room after hours.
He failed for leaving the wallet in the room in the first place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially if because there's certain places you cannot leave your money around when you're banging these.
Yep,
boy.
Yes, do you remember?
Shout out!
Yeah. You know what? We gotta start telling these stories, man. Alright, so we're laughing. I'm the public. Let me tell you what happened in this story, yeah? No names will be told. But we went away somewhere.
Are you even gonna say where we went?
No. We went away somewhere. And one of the
wasn't there, was he?
Nah, he wasn't. Right, we went away somewhere, and one of the Mandem must have found the lady of the night, yeah?
A lady of the
night.
Alright. Not only did he sleep with the lady of the night, they destroyed the bed.
Oh, yeah.
They destroyed the bed, and the lady of the night fell asleep in the house. All right, alongside that person, or should I say in the same room, because the other person didn't sleep in the bed with them.
And there's video of them snoring.
There's video of them snoring there.
So a video was made.
A video was made.
Told you.
Right. But this is where this man was a G.
I told you.
We'd also like to state that the man didn't pay for this, by the way. This was a free thing.
This message was self-destructing.
He got freeness from the prostitute, so it was free. So he banged. But just to make sure that person didn't steal anything from them, he stole her bank card.
Bad man.
And kept it. So then, if anything ever happened that she had stolen anything, he had her bank card to get the money back. We then saw her in the street later on in the night. He then said to her, "What are you doing, man? Look, there's your bank card." I gave it back to her. I said, "This guy's real." That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
No, but what the point here was, he checked that nothing was missing first in the yard.
No, he took it as a precaution.
Precaution.
I don't know if something has happened. I'm not 100% sure. I was a bit wavy.
How you still from a prostitute?
So I'm taking this just in case. That is how paranoid I am.
Man stole from a prostitute.
That's a move, man. I salute him.
Nah, man, that
is not even the legendary one from that.
That is not. It's not. It's not.
The other one
was even more legendary.
It's the legendary bit.
What other one?
You don't remember?
Other one.
You don't remember?
No. Well, do tell.
Okay, so man must have moved to the lady of the night.
Yes.
Told the lady of the night that he's a man of the night.
Yes.
And that they really shouldn't be exchanging money for this.
Don't you remember?
No.
The person wanted money, obviously, for doing her job. And man said, No, I'm a gigolo. They argued about it for X amount of time. And then basically they waved each other's feet.
Yes.
Both professional courtesy bangs.
Yes. That was the greatest finesse.
Group on sex. Wow.
That was the greatest finesse I've ever seen in my life.
That is
legendary.
That's legendary, man.
And when I'm talking about my crew, yeah, you might be looking down on it, but this is why I love my crew. Because I've got tears in my eyes.
That's a move.
And we did a contra deal with I say we because I'm including myself in the conversation. I don't know why. It's the proverbial we. We did a contra deal with the lady of the night.
No.
Yeah, bro.
Now that video still kills me to this day because that snoring was immense.
Did you not know about the contra deal? I'm gonna call it the contra deal.
I kind of think I remember now.
Episode.
I remember now. But the snoring thing was the best thing for me because the guy that had sex as a prostitute, he wasn't sleeping on the bed. He was sleeping on the chair with his feet up high on the bed, like he was at peace. That's what I couldn't understand. And she was just snoring down the whole house.
Enjoyed herself that night.
Yeah, she
slept well, yeah.
They broke the bed.
She slept well with it.
When we came back here, when we came back to the room, the people, the engineers was fixing the bed. They're like, ay. I didn't know what's going on.
No, but remember, I think it was our room. Do you remember when man came back to our room and he's like, right, I can't go in the room.
Yeah. He came back to our room in the middle of the morning like, I can't go back to that room.
That same trip, I woke up and because we were sharing rooms, innit? Yeah. And the person that was sharing my room, he left. And then, bruv, I don't know how any girl sleeps with you, man, because that snoring that you do was so deep. I couldn't sleep. He said he couldn't sleep all night. He had to leave the room.
You cussed me as well.
Yeah, you snore, bruv. You all snore, man. It's a long thing. Anyway, let's go. Let's end the show.
That's the end of the show. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the show. Contra deal.
We need to start telling them stories, man. There's a lot of stories in the past, boy.
These are blue tick stories, man.
Stories.
All right. So let's do our social medias and our church notes. Let's start off with Simple Simon.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I have no Instagram. Get at me. I don't know. I haven't really got any big recommendations. I'm stuck on this tune, Jumpy remix by Ambush with Chipmunk, Skepta. Been playing that, and there's another one by some guy called B Young, 079 Me or something like that. I'm kind of hooked on that one too. Go and check those two out. Soul UK vibe, UK music, definitely on the rise. So yeah, go and take in that. Peace.
That actor.
What's good, people? DATACTOR is the handle for Twitter and Instagram. My recommendation, what I'm watching at the moment, which is really kind of good, I'll recommend this to you as well. I think I did, Stav, is called The Green Room. We were talking on the subject of comedians and how real they are and their take on certain things. So The Green Room is basically a room full of comedians talking about...
variety thing?
No, it's not variety. It's something else. I can't remember.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
But it's 4 to 5 comedians sit down in what essentially is called a green room, and they just talk about their career and their lives and being a comedian, coming up as a comedian. It features on it Rain Pryor, who's Richard Pryor's daughter, and George Carlin's daughter, who I can't remember her name. So they're legends, obviously, of comedy. So it's a good thing to watch. So watch that. And also,
where can you catch it?
You can catch it on YouTube. And also, I'm Dying Up Here, which is a comedy satire show, comedy program, which is about the 60s and 70s stand-up era, comedy era.
Okay. So you're about that laughing right now, huh?
I'm about that laughing at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Big Wahala.
At Big Wahala Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Shout out to Travis J that was on our show last week. He's got a live show coming up on the 27th of September. It's £5. It's at the Angel Comedy Club. So big them up. And I think it will be, if you're listening to this on the Tuesday that this gets released, on that following Sunday on the 5th of August, Off the Cuff, I've got their live show. It is somewhere. I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to find out where it is.
It's that place in Shoreditch, and the week after
them man there
have the,
I think it's the bug or something like that. Yeah,
same venue. So 1 week on the 5th, and then on whatever the week after the 5th is, you got on Off the Cuff, sorry, and them and they both have their live shows.
It's in the Don Vach or something.
Siegfried.
Yeah.
Siegfried Front and the Belly. Yeah? So get your tickets for the On the Cuff show that's coming out on the 5th. And then on the 12th, you got them man there at the same place.
Live show.
So listen, we're not even affiliated with them man there in any way, shape or form. We haven't been on their podcast, they haven't been on ours. But as I said, we need to all link up and make sure that we all support each other when we can. So go and check those man out. They've got a good podcast, fantastic podcast. Listen to them and go to their show. And as you know, Foles and Vans have been on our show. We've been on their show. I've got a lot of time for them, man. It's their first show, their first live show. Go and support.
Cool.
Stavros says this week is the segment where I big up somebody or something and I promote them to you. And this week is going to be my bedroom and friend of the podcast, Nikki Stylus, DJ Nikki Stylus.
Boombox Therapy.
Yes, she has a show, Boombox Therapy, on, what's the name of the station, man? Behind the Groove Radio. Behind the Groove Radio. It's Nikki Stylus. She plays different types of music. She's been around since original Slackfest times. She was original Slackfest member. She's just good people's, man. And I listened to her show this week where she had an interview with a couple of reggae people. And I'm not
reggae music,
ladies, British reggae artists. I'm not a big reggae fan, but I realized I need to know the difference between bashment and reggae and dub because I'm cool with dub. Yeah. And the music that these two ladies were playing, sorry I don't know their names actually, so I should big them up really as well. I didn't mind some of it was cool. It's like me and my daughter were dancing to it. It's like, oh, this is good. I was in the bathroom and I listened to my homegirl interviewing these and she was playing the songs. I said, okay, I can deal with, I think it was reggae.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, this sounds like the stuff I was hearing from the Caribbeans that I was parring with back in the day. The stuff I hear now is, and people are jumping off umbrellas and stuff.
That's bashment.
That's the stuff I don't like. Like this one, I can understand what they're saying. Yeah. You know, it's much more mellow. So, you know, let me not be too harsh on.
The ladies were Alicia Scott and Tisha Makeda.
Yes. I think you said the second one would be wrong. But anyways, big up Nikki Stylus. I'm proud of you for doing your thing. She used to be on radio a long time ago, and she's come back, and she's pushing the thing. So it's what's the name of the station again?
It's Boombox Therapy, Behind the Groove Radio. Behind
the Groove Radio. You can find it on TuneIn, and you can also search for Mixcloud for the songs. And it's Boombox Therapy, DJ Nikki Stylus, friend of the podcast. Salute yourself. Slack for life.
And yours truly, DJ Webslinger, was on one episode of Behind the Groove as well. Thank you very much.
Was he? Yeah, I didn't even know.
Well, you don't care about life, so.
Well, you should just promote that, though.
Exactly. You need to tell people what you're doing with your life, man.
Just listen.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. That's Instagram and Twitter, even though I don't use my Instagram. And you can catch us collectively at ESN Podcasts all over the interwebs. On Facebook, search for Eloquently Saying Nothing. Please use the hashtag ESNPod, ESNPod, when you are discussing what we are discussing, when you're talking about what you heard on the show. And we will find it after people stop playing with their phones, and we will find it and talk with you. Just remember, it was Big Wahala and the actor that were impersonating black women with the head shaking, finger snapping.
Where did the head shaking come from?
Listen, the people couldn't see, but I could see it in front of me. That's what you're doing. It's really bad. I'm just disappointed in both of you as brothers. I don't see black women like that at all.
Are you trying to say because you could do it better?
Is that all right, Simple Simon?
Co-sign.
I think that was terrible.
Terrible, despicable behavior.
Yeah. So if you want to get at them, please. I'll co-sign whatever you need to say. Yeah.
I dare any of you to get at me.
In fact, don't. So that is another episode done. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We love the support. Big yourself up. Peace. Oh, sorry. Shout out Mr. Wolf, who couldn't make it today, who told us 15 minutes after we were meant to record that he couldn't make it. He is AKA Mr. Wolf on Instagram and AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. So shout him up. And hopefully he'll be back on next week. So, so thank you.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life.
I think I know you somewhere. Maybe.
Okay. What song is that?
The same 079.
Oh, so it sounds like a bashment team.
It's called 079.
It's a song called 079.
Call me. 079.
Remember that?
Who?
If you like me, 079.
Oh, boxing. What's the same number I've got now? I haven't changed my number for 20 years. 20 years and these people change their number every 5 seconds. 20 years. You're the youngsters.